So what's up everybody, Black Clover 336 fan translations are out and this chapter was good. The difference between the spoilers and actually getting the fan translations is like night and day. This chapter is very insightful. At the end, it looks like the person was actually waiting for Asta and not that Asta just suddenly appeared. So that's very interesting in itself. Maybe Asta is in some other dimension, if not Land of the Rising Sun, or if the Land of the Rising Sun is in another dimension. It's all interesting. But either way, let's get into my Black Clover 336 review. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussions, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, like, comment, switch in with some false copyright strikes. So let's get this channel back to 5,000. Check out the Discord. So the beginning of the chapter was interesting itself. It's basically the town people learning about the Wizard King is actually the enemy. You know, and I was saying this, like, I wonder what happens when King Augustus figures out that Julius is actually the enemy. I was saying that maybe there's a possibility that there's not going to be the title Wizard King moving forward, but it looks like the kingdom does need a Wizard King, so it is a branch of power. Like I said before, it's kind of like the prime minister. Obviously, King Augustus is the monarch. Everybody's getting whispers that Julius is not who he seemed to be. People are asking, like, how can that be if he risked his life to save all of us? It's like gossip, but according to the people that were there, it's true. People all over the country want to know what's going to happen to them because they no longer have basically the prime minister. And then you see Yuno. Yuno is just marching in. He's just completely shocked. He has like an angry face to him, but his face, it's more of like serious and shock mixed with rage. It's cool to see how Tabata really draws faces. He's always been good at that. The emotions that he always does in his drawings and the characters always express the emotion that this situation is trying to point out. You see the captains and everybody, and this is as the end of our report, and then you see Sekre, Noel, Mimosa, and they're all devastated because, you know, they all saw Asta firsthand basically get taken to another dimension, and to them they think that he possibly is dead. Obviously we know that if he dies, it's only going to be temporary versus him actually dying full on and then the end of the stories, because we always know that Asta's the main character. Something's going to happen where he's going to come back. You can't have Black Clover without Asta. Fulgolion is like, wow, so I see Asta is, everybody's assuming Asta has passed away. Real, you know, I never liked Real. I always called him the painter dude. I always told y'all this guy just rubs me the wrong way. Of course he's going to say something off-putting. He's saying Asta's celebration turned into a wake. You know, you don't say those things. I know this is the fan translation, so it's going to be a little bit off what he says, but at the end of the day, it still gets to the point where he just says something awkward where you're not supposed to say it. This guy has rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm glad he's becoming irrelevant, besides just him being a captain. He can't believe it either, what just happened. He says it again, Asta's death. You see Yami, most likely he just chain smoking like crazy right now because what happened? I mean, he cares so much about Julius, but he also cares a lot about Asta. Asta literally was the reason why they're here, and Asta did save him. He's probably thinking like maybe Lucius was the reason for this Tree of Qliphoth opening. Like, I really want to hear Yami's inner dialogue. I hope it gets explained in the next chapter so we kind of get like a understanding of how he truly feels, because him and William Vengeance are probably figuring out that, wow, I was a pawn this whole entire time. Yami says not, and then not appears. You know, I gotta say, I like his appeal. We see him actually rocking the Black Bull's robe. It still shows his character how he's shady, but he's still a good guy. He explains that he can move into the shadow of any person that he wants, which is crazy. I'm pretty sure there's limits to it. It has to probably be people that he knows and people that he have shared a shadow with at one point, but any person, like, then why didn't you just do that when you met Dante? Why didn't you just do that with the Dark Triad so that characters can just go there and not do that whole finding them and fighting all these devils? But I'm pretty sure this is just the fan translations and it's a little bit off, so the officials will probably clear that up a little bit more. However, going back to what Nat says, he says he can move to any shadow of any person he wants, but he can't enter Asta's shadow, meaning that he's either in another continent, another dimension, or that he's dead. I'm starting to think that the Land of the Rising Sun could be in another dimension. You know, Yami has dimensional slash, he can cut through dimensions, we've seen that before, so there has to be something there. And Noelle's face when she hears the news is like, Tabata's really good at drawing despair and emotions in the characters. Like I said before, I love Tabata's style of drawing. I have to give props where props is due. 17 pages for the last couple couple of chapters. I'm glad to finally get more contents because it was like 12 at sometimes 15. Getting those 2 extra pages, it's all worth it. When Nacht says Asta might be dead, Yuno is just kind of like looking at another direction. From what it looks like, Fagolion is saying, in these circumstances, it's safe to say that Lucius, or should I say Julius, is our enemy. I think his name's Jack. He says he can't believe it. I don't like this captain too much either, so I'm not gonna look up his name. The Wizard King has 2 personalities in one body, just like the times with the elves. And then you see William Vengeance's face. I'm pretty sure William Vengeance probably has like a deeper understanding as to what happened with Julius. Like I said before with Yami, I want to hear these guys' inner dialogue. It'll be very interesting to see what they're feeling, what they're thinking, not just these faces. Like, I appreciate the emotion that Tabata's drawing still. Like, I want to know what's going on in their head. Nozel is realizing that, hey, he is a Zagrati, so he must be related to the Dark Triad, and to have dominated all the devils in the underworld, he's certainly the most powerful of all of them. Real or Painted Dude being irrelevant and being annoying as ever, he's saying that he got time magic from the Wizard King, and also apparently he has magic of Lucifero. He's way out of their league. Fagolion's like, yeah, I understand. He does have a strong body, and he can easily use time magic. Then you aren't incorrect, so you're not wrong. We still need to see Fagolion's Spirit Dive. For him to even be relevant, I'm guessing his Spirit Dive is going to have to be powerful, because at this point, like, why didn't you show it in the last arc? Tabata's saving it for a reason, and I think Fagolion's Spirit Dive is going to be epic. This question of him saying that they're way out of their league, I don't know, to me it kind of feels like a hint as to what Fagolion could do in the future, but we'll see. You know, Yuno is basically explaining when he investigated the demon activity, the Supreme Devil who was watching on the side of the Spade Nation, he was there with a group of high-ranking devils. It was a clear diversion so that the Supreme Devil can run away. So they're all figuring out that this is all Lucius' plan and that he wanted to let Adramelech to run away. Yuno saying that they were all sent by Lucius so that way he can have some type of tear to the underworld, which is very interesting. Maybe that's the reason why Lucius is able to come in and out of the underworld, but I still think it has to do something with Beelzebub. That's just my opinion. What Fagolion and the other people are figuring out from the dialogue that Sister Lily had with Lucius and what Lucius said is that Lucius' magical power is soul magic. What he did to Sister Lily completely changed her and gave her a new personality, basically, and also the power of the devil. I'm guessing this is the captain of the Purple Orcas saying that Judgment Day, these people will attack in 7 days' time. I'm not entirely sure why Tabata likes 7 days. You notice how, like, last arc was 7 days, this arc is 7 days. I said this before, the number 7 is very important in numerology and also religion. From what I'm more familiar, it said that in Christianity, God created the world in 7 days. I'm pretty sure Judaism has something similar to that as well, but 7 days is very important in a lot of religions. If you look at numerology, the number 7, a lot of times, especially when you put 777, has to do with divinity. It's a divine divinity number. So because we've seen the devils in the last arc, I'm pretty sure the Tree of Qliphoth was going to open up in 7 days, if I wasn't mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And then we have 7 days now. It's very interesting. You see Yami looks really mad and serious, and you can see that he's been smoking a lot. There's like an ashtray and there's just tons of cigarette butts there. Yuno's like, I have to do it. He gets like a sweet little moment back with Asta. Asta's frustrated, but also congratulating Yuno that he has gone to the ranks of a Grand Magical Knight. Asta saying that he wished he was at that level because he's always behind him one step. However, Yuno's like, the person that was ahead was you, Asta, and I was actually trying to catch up. And then you see all the things that Asta was doing. Asta helped Yuno when he was a kid. Asta defeated the devil in the Shadow Palace. Asta saved Yuno, and he defeated Lucifero. So Yuno always felt that Asta was actually ahead of him, even though Yuno, at first glance, he looks like he's ahead of Asta, but in reality, Yuno always felt that Asta was his goal to surpass. You know, it's a sweet moment thinking about how Yuno probably feels. He probably thinks that his foster brother is probably dead. It must be very hard for him. This is probably going to be the hardest words that Yuno probably has to say. Is he said, if Asta's dead, if he's not coming back, I'll have to surpass him. Imagine having to say that, just learning that your foster brother died. That's harsh. And then you go back to where Lucius is at. You see Sister Lily, and from what it looks like, Damnatio, because it has the same attire, same clothes, same hairstyle as Damnatio. And also, if you remember, Lucius touched Damnatio similar to how he touched Sister Lily. So I'm not surprised if Damnatio is a paladin. I think it's almost confirmed at this point. Just we haven't really seen full glance. But the other two, I wonder who the other two are. That's very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like somebody in the high ranks of the Clover Kingdom, like a royalty member. I know he has Damnatio, who technically is part of the royalty, but I'm pretty sure there's another person in the Clover Kingdom royalty family that let Lucius basically be a Clover Kingdom citizen and help him rise to where he's at right now. It would be crazy if it's King Augustus. I highly doubt it's King Augustus, but if it is, that'd be so epic. Adramelech is like, can't believe how strong Yuno has gotten. So Andromeda explaining how Yuno is becoming way too strong. Like, I can't wait to see Yuno's power up and new attacks. It's also crazy as well how Lucius is seeing Yuno as a threat, but not as a big threat, because of all his predictions, all the 10,000s of them, only one future where basically our cast has the upper hand, and Yuno is the key. So for the sake of the world, he wants to destroy Yuno. If you think about it, Yuno has 2 souls. Even though Lucius can do soul magic, if Lucius does soul magic and tries to do it on Yuno, he would have to do it for both souls. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if the future cast start becoming paladins and Lucius starts converting other people, I wouldn't be surprised he can't convert Yuno because of that fact that he has 2 souls. It's an interesting 2 pages where you see Yuno saying that I will crush Lucius, and Lucius saying I will crush Yuno. So you know that there's going to be a battle between them coming up soon, which will be very interesting, and I can't wait to see Yuno's star magic in action after a year and 3 months have passed. I'm pretty sure he's been able to develop that power and also master it to a certain extent. And then you see Asta on a beach with his grimoire on the side, which shows that Asta is still alive, because if Asta was actually dead, his grimoire would be fading, but his grimoire is there. And then you see some random guy who has a sun behind him saying, oh, you're there, meaning that this guy was waiting for Asta. Maybe he can see the future as well, or maybe he saw a dimensional shift, who knows, because it's weird how Asta landed in this strange world on the beach, like he just came adrift. It's similar to how Yami ended up in the Clover Kingdom. So I hope that gets explained. Maybe the ocean in the Clover Kingdom and the land of the rising sun, there's like some type of mystical thing going on, because I know that in Japanese mythology the whirlpool was a huge thing, so maybe they're trying to imply that in Black Clover, who knows. And that's why Japan was able to stay basically isolated, because of the water. The surrounding Japan were filled with like whirlpools and all that stuff and dangerous obstacles to actually land into Japan. But yeah, this is epic, because this guy kind of gives me vibes of a priest, like a Buddhist priest, but also I think he's also a samurai. So that'll be very interesting if we actually see Yami's father, or if Asta's father has anything to do with the land of the rising sun. It would make sense how Asta was able to learn ki so quickly and Yami got freaked out. But that's basically all to say. This chapter was fire. I loved it. Let me know what you think about this chapter. Let me know what you think about Asta landing in this mysterious place on the beach, similar to how Yami ended up in the Clover Kingdom. Do you think there's a parallel there? Always been shown that Asta and Yami are similar but different. Do you think Yami has a grimoire or a power from his own land, not from the Clover Kingdom? Because I'm starting to think that Yami might have a power given to him because of Lucius. How do you think Yuno's and Lucius battle is going to end? Are you excited to see any new moves that Yuno might be able to do? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.